Good morning, YouTubians. It's Kermit's Ghost. It is Monday, the 26th of August, 2024. Bank Holiday Monday. It's another Blu-ray release day, but before I mosey on up to HMV to film the latest releases and grab myself a morning latte.
Do you know the line?
Okay, I need to say a few things. As you may know, a few of my fellow YouTubers, as well as myself, we all met up in a very rainy London at the weekend. We spent the day visiting Oxford Street's HMV, which is lovely, as well as the Disney store where Vanda filmed me with a large Kermit plushie. Then we moved on to Forbidden Planet, FOP, as well as the original CEX. We grabbed a coffee and a bite to eat. I will insert some photographs if I haven't already. The people that came along on Saturday were as follows, and this is in no particular order. We have Lisa, Darren and Isaac, who flew in all the way from Ireland. Lovely to meet them. Toby, aka Smith Boy. We've got Carl, Justin's wife Pam, Jason and Sophie, Big Paulie, James Millership, Evander and his lovely family, and the man with unlimited energy and enthusiasm, Jamie Batman Smith, and of course last but not least, Jamie and Katie Powell. I'll leave a link down below to everyone's channel. Also, Jamie kindly picked me up a movie from his hometown of Bournemouth, brought it along, and he also bought me a movie whilst we were in FOP as well. And on top of that, he gave me a Ghostbusters ghost trap for my movie library. I will show the movies when I come back, but the ghost trap I will show now. So here is the ghost trap, which was first used in the 1984 film Ghostbusters to capture Slimer, that green floating apparition that haunted the staff and the guests at the Cedric Hotel. The Ghostbusters trapped it in the ballroom. He was then stored away in the containment unit, which is in the basement of the firehouse headquarters. Then that EPA Inspector Walter Peck showed up claiming there were harmful waste chemicals being stored at the facility. He then ordered the Con Edison electrician to shut it all down, allowing Slimer and his fellow ghosts to escape. As you can guess, I'm quite a fan of the franchise, so a huge thank you to Jamie for giving me this. You, mate, are a star. Which leads me on to my last point, and that is that there will be no video next Monday. It's my daughter's actual wedding this coming weekend, and I'm going to be busy on that Monday. I'm going to be dropping them at the airport. I'm going to be picking up Ernie the pug because I'm looking after him while they're away on their honeymoon. Plus there's a whole lot of stuff going on with visiting family. So with all that said and done, I will see you all in Costa. So before I venture across the road and into Churchill Square Shopping Centre and down into HMV, it's time for some morning fuel in the form of a nice hot latte from Costa Coffee. It wouldn't be a Monday video without one. As I head into HMV this morning, I see there's a sign on the security bollards asking for local bands, singers, DJs and drag performers to put on some entertainment for the customers. Very nice. So in no particular order, I'll start with Sasquatch Sunset. This is a fantasy drama about 4 Sasquatches that go about their daily business in the woodlands of North Carolina, which is where it's filmed. Stars Jesse Eisenberg as the alpha male. This one is priced at £14.99 and it carries a 15 certificate. Next is Island of Terror, a British horror from 1966 about tentacled creatures that are terrorising some island locals. This stars Peter Cushing and Edward Judd. This is priced at £16.99 and it carries a PG certificate. Next is Nothing But the Best, a black comedy from Studio Canal. And this is about a young man who wants to rise through the ranks of his new job, but it ends up involving bribery and even murder. This one stars Alan Bates and Denholm Elliott. £14.99 for this title today. Next release includes 2 4K movies, a 2009 horror called Offspring, and the other is The Woman from 2011, which is its sequel. Both starring Pollyanna McIntosh as the woman who survives a cannibal tribe. £21.99 for this double feature. It carries an 18 certificate. Next is the 4K release of The Power of the Dog from the Criterion label. It's a psychological drama set in the Montana Plains in the 1920s. It stars Kirsten Dunst and her on and off screen husband Jesse Plemons, as well as a deranged Benedict Cumberbatch. £29.99 for this release. Who Saw Her Die Next? An Italian murder mystery from 1972. It stars George Lazenby and Anita Strindberg as parents trying to find what happened to their murdered daughter. £17.99 for this movie. It carries a 15 certificate. Orgasmo next, an Italian horror from 1969. This was co-written and directed by Umberto Lenzi. It stars Carol Baker as a wealthy American who befriends a brother and sister who are hell-bent on getting their hands on her fortune. This one is priced at £16.99. It carries a 15 certificate. Next is The Bodyguard from Beijing. This is the 4K release from 88 Films. This 1994 Chinese martial arts thriller stars Jet Li as a bodyguard who is assigned to protect an eyewitness to a brutal murder. The eyewitness happens to be a beautiful woman for which he falls in love with. This has got a runtime of 92 minutes and is priced at £29.99. Chinatown next on 4K. This is a neo-noir mystery directed by Roman Polanski, and it stars Jack Nicholson and Faye Dunaway, and it's about the California water wars in the 1900s. Also stars John Huston and Burt Young. This is priced at £22.99 and it carries a 15 certificate. Next is Will-O-the-Wisp. This is a cartoon series comprising of 2 seasons, featuring the voice talents of Kenneth Williams from the 1981 series and James Dreyfus from the 2005 series, with a total runtime of 251 minutes. Each episode's around the 5-minute mark, and this one has a price tag of £49.99. Next is A Greyhound of a Girl. This is an animated drama about a girl who loves cooking, something she inherits from her grandmother, who is very ill. This 85-minute film features the voice talents of Brendan Gleeson, Sharon Horgan and Mia Connor. £14.99 for this one. Next is the 4K release of Jaws the Revenge. This 1987 horror is the final film in the franchise. This one being directed by Joseph Sargent, and this was nominated for 7 Golden Raspberry Awards and won one for the worst visual effects. This is priced at £19.99 and it carries a 12 certificate. Next is The Italian Connection, a 1972 crime drama co-written and directed by Fernando De Leo. This is about a pimp who is framed for the missing shipment of heroin that is bound for New York. This is limited to 3,000 copies and priced at £17.99. It carries a 15 certificate. Next is What We Do in the Shadows, a horror comedy that was co-written, co-produced, co-directed and co-starring Jermaine Clement and Taika Waititi. This has been released before by Metrodome Video, but is now with 101 Films and priced at £11.99, and this carries a 15 certificate. Next is the Arrow release of Silence of the Lambs, the limited edition Blu-ray set. There is a 4K release for this, but I couldn't find it, and that would cost you £29.99. This one, however, is priced at £24.99, and this release comes with a reversible cover, an illustrated booklet, a double-sided poster, and 6 double-sided postcard-size art cards. This one carries an 18 certificate. Next is Island of Fire from 88 Films. Now, this sees Jackie Chan's character, who is incarcerated, team up with 2 fellow inmates to take down a prison that is full not only of high-class prisoners, but corrupt officials too. This one is priced at £19.99 and it carries an 18 certificate. Next is the Gundam Build Fighters Tri-Complete series. This is set 7 years after Sealari won the 7th Gunpowder Battle Champion World Tournament. This contains 4 discs and has a runtime of 625 minutes, and this is priced at £57.99 and it carries a PG certificate. World Noir Volume 2 from Radiance Films next. This is limited to 3,000 copies and it features the movies Black Gravel, Symphony for a Massacre and Cruel Gun Story. It's got a total runtime of 313 minutes and includes an 80-page booklet. £44.99 for this box set today, and it carries a 12 certificate. Vikings Valhalla Season 1 next. This is a Warner Brothers release, and this is the follow-up series to Vikings and set 100 years later. There are 3 seasons to this show in total, and they have already aired. This has 8 episodes in this season and is priced at £29.99. Viva la Muerte next, aka Long Live Death, a surreal drama set at the end of the Spanish Civil War, told through a boy's eyes when his father is handed over to authorities for being a communist, by his mother no less. £17.99 for this release, carries an 18 certificate. Tokujiro Lone Yakuza next from Radiance Films. This 1966 action-adventure sees Tokujiro forced to fight via the Code of Gamblers. You can expect to pay £17.99 for this release today, and it carries a 15 certificate. Akame ga Kill Season 1 next. This is an animated show which sees Tatsumi head to the capital to make a fortune, but instead he finds himself in the centre of a revolution, and he must join up to overthrow the corrupt government. This one is priced at £39.99. Gorky Park next from Final Cut Entertainment. This is a crime drama from 1983 that's set in Moscow about a triple murder that's being investigated by a diligent police investigator. But he's thwarted at every opportunity as it's linked to high government officials. £14.99 for this release, and it carries a 15 certificate. Guest House Paradiso next, a black comedy from 1999 that was written by Rick Mell and Adrian Edmondson. Adrian actually directed this as well. This is a spin-off from their TV show Bottom. Look out for Simon Pegg as Mr. Nice. It also stars Bill Nye, Vincent Castle, Fenella Feldin and James Darcy. £16.99 for this title today. It carries a 15 certificate. Hey everybody, welcome back. So there's 4 movies to talk about, 3 of which are creature features, hence the thumbnail. So let's crack on with it. Okay, I'm going to start off with Alligator. This is an independent horror film from 1980, the golden age of horror. It's directed by Lewis Teague, this being his 3rd film. He also went on to make Cujo, Cat's Eyes, Navy Seals and Jewel of the Nile. Now the movie starts off with a young girl at a place similar to Gatorland in Florida, where she buys a baby alligator, despite witnessing a man at the show being attacked by a gator and have his leg bitten off. Next morning while she's at school, her dad flushes it down the toilet and into the sewer system. And meanwhile, across town, an illegal experiment is taking place in a lab where they're trying to use growth chemicals to alter farm animals, make them bigger, produce more meat, that kind of thing. But they start off by using stray dogs, which all end up dying. So the lead technician dumps their carcasses into the sewer system where the baby alligator is feeding, and he's getting miserably bigger as well. In fact, within 12 years the alligator's become enormous and 36 feet long, and it soon gets a taste for human flesh. Speaking of which, there's also a detective who is investigating body parts that are turning up all across the town. He teams up with a reptile specialist who happens to be the girl from the start of the movie, and she's now a grown woman. This all happens within the first half hour, so there's still plenty going on. Robin Riker is playing Dr. Kendall, the reptile expert, and Robert Forster is playing Detective David Madison. You'll know him from Jackie Brown, where he played the character Max Cherry. He was also General Edward Clegg from Olympus and London Has Fallen, and he was also that vacuum seller guy from Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Now this movie was a lot of fun. I loved it. I'm definitely on the lookout for the sequel. Pitch quality on this was absolutely crystal clear. It's got a runtime of 1 hour 31 minutes. Let's take a look inside. Well, this is a double Blu-ray edition which features an alternate TV cut, and it also features alternate artwork. So that was Alligator. Okay, next one to show you is The Ship That Died of Shame. This is a crime drama from 1955 which is set at the very end of World War II. Now this is written, produced and directed by Basil Dearden. Yep, him again. I've mentioned him a few times over the last couple of months. Now this is a story of 3 ex-soldiers that clubbed together during peacetime to buy their Royal Navy motor gun boat that they served on during World War II. Their aim is to smuggle small items like watches and booze, that kind of thing. The 3 men are George Hoskins, being played by Richard Attenborough. You've got Bill Randall, being played by George Baker, who you may know from the Ruth Rendell Mysteries, where he played Inspector Wexford. And you've also got Birdie as well, being played by Bill Owen. And you'll know him from Last of Summer Wine. Now everything is going well to start with, but greed soon kicks in with George especially, and they start taking jobs smuggling counterfeit cash, weapons and even a child murderer. And it's almost as if the boat doesn't want to partake in smuggling, and it constantly breaks down as well. Plus there's also a very diligent customs officer, Sam Brewster, who's being played by Bernard Lee, best known for playing M in 11 Bond movies. This one's got a runtime of 1 hour 32 minutes. Very entertaining film. Let's take a look inside. Slipcover and the cover have the same image, and that image is carried onto the disc. So that was The Ship That Died of Shame from 1955. Okay, next one to show you is Island of Terror from 88 Films. This is a British horror from 1966 that is directed by Terence Fisher. He also made Night of the Big Heat, which has a very similar feel to this one. He also made Devil Rides Out, The Brides of Dracula and The Mummy from 1959. Now, like Night of the Big Heat, this also features a mysterious presence that emits creepy sounds and is killing off the locals off a small island off the coast of Ireland. Film opens up with a bunch of scientists in a laboratory who are trying to find a cure for cancer, but instead they create a tentacle creature that's able to dissolve bone. Obviously it escapes on the lab and it holds out in a cave. When the first boneless corpse is discovered by the local doctor, a Dr. Landers, he's naturally stumped as to how it happened, so he travels to London and ropes in Dr. Brian Stanley, who's being played by Peter Cushing. He too is stumped as well, so it gets pushed a little bit further up the chain to Dr. David West, who is a prominent bone expert who's being played by Edward Judd. Now these 3 doctors, they back and forth, and they decide they're going to travel to the island with the help of Meryl's helicopter. Meryl is David's girlfriend, being played by Carol Gray, who also goes along for the ride. They soon find the lab and a whole host of boneless technicians. I won't say any more, but I thought this was a lot of fun. I did watch this film. Very much in the style of Hammer horror style, maybe because of Peter Cushing or maybe because of the general colour palette of the film. On a side note, the newly commissioned artwork on the cover is from Sean Longmore. He's worked with 88 Films for quite a while now, and what an incredible talent he is. This one's got a runtime of 1 hour 27 minutes, worth watching. Let's take a look inside. The slipcover and the cover have the same image. However, the cover is reversible and you have a choice of covers. I'm going to choose that one. A completely separate image has been put onto the disc. And there is a 16-page booklet included. So that was Island of Terror. Okay, next and last is Sting. This is a creature feature horror film from this year that was written and directed by Kyle H. Turner. He's a man that made those 2 post-apocalyptic Wormwood movies. Now this is about a giant killing alien spider, so if you do have arachnophobia, I'd steer clear of this one. Movie opens with an exterminator being called to take care of something that's quite large and crawling around in the air ducts of a very run-down apartment block. Now, whatever the thing is, because you don't see it at this point, it kills the exterminator and drags him off into the air vents. Then we cut to 4 days earlier. A small meteorite crashes onto Earth. A spider pops out of a big egg sac. A girl finds it, keeps it in a jar as a pet. The spider can communicate with her by whistling when it's hungry. She feeds it cockroaches that she finds in her apartment. Told you it was one down, didn't I? And she names the pet Sting. The little girl, who's called Charlotte, likes to crawl around in the air ducts as well, spying on her neighbours, played by Lila Brown, who was the young Furiosa in the latest Mad Max movies. Anyway, the spider grows very big very quickly. Well, you know from the start of the film, within 4 days, it's big enough to attack and kill the exterminator. So it soon escapes from the tank that it's been put in, and it looks around for a more substantial food source. And at first, it's neighbours' pets, but that's just not enough for this ravenous arachnid. I won't say any more, but I will also mention that it stars Ryan Corr as Charlotte's stepfather, Ethan. He kind of reminded me of Shia LaBeouf a little bit. And Penelope Mitchell as well as Charlotte's mother, Heather. I thought this was a very fun watch. Good effects as well, but I'm biased because I love spiders. This one's got a runtime of 1 hour 32 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So the slipcover and the cover have the same image. This is the HMV exclusive slipcover. I would say the black one was a little bit rarer than this one because I've seen a lot of these, but not many of the black covers. And the black cover features a spider on the woman's cheek, which is a very good kill scene. Talking of which, the spider on the cheek is the image they've decided to put onto the disc. So that was Sting. So that was it. Big thank you to Jamie Powell for giving me that Ghostbusters trap. Really do appreciate it, mate. I will find somewhere really nice to put it in the movie room. So that was it. Have you seen any of those? Plan to pick them up or just want to leave a comment? Then do so down below. I will read every single one and try to reply if I have the time. Good video, thumbs up. Really does help the channel. And subscribe if you haven't. It's all free. Why wouldn't you? On that note, all that's left to say is thank you so much for choosing my channel today and watching my video. Take care. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.